Yeah, what up? I go by the name King Series from Home Studio Production, and I'm going to make a beat in FL Studio 20, and I'm going to show you guys how we mix beats and how we master beats in Home Studio Production over here. Please, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel to support and like and comment to this video. You can also share your idea about how you mix and master at the comment section. uh, there's no one way of mixing and mastering. There's no one way of playing a beat, in case you don't know, but there are a whole lot of concepts that you're supposed to understand in beat making and mixing and mastering. First of all, if you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like and also comment to the video for us, and your time will never be wasted. Please forget about the length of the video, but just make sure you stick to the end and understand the basics of music production in case you want to become a very good music producer and also sound engineer. First of all, before we move on, you can use any DAW to accomplish the same thing, but the first theory that I want to tell you guys is, in case you don't know how to play keyboard, you don't know how to play guitar, lead or bass guitar or anything, please, the most important thing is you just have to understand music theory. Understand your music theory, because if you want to go far, get to the end, like where you really want to be, you want to become those top commercial producers and stuff, then please you need to learn at least your music theory to understand that if you don't know how to play keyboard very well, so at the end of the day it's going to support you when somebody is singing. Other than that, you will always be playing the beat for them, but you'll be going off keys and other that if you don't understand your music theory. So you can check online, or you can tell me to do a video about music theory for you, and I will surely do that. Check online, whether YouTube here or anywhere, Google it and search for music theory. Understand the basic principles of music, your chord progression, melodies and everything. So without wasting my time, let's get onto the screen, and I show you guys how I play my beat, mix and master. This is a very long video, right? But forget about that and let us learn together. It's your boy King Series. Your time will never be wasted. So let's get onto the screen. Right. I don't know the kind of beat that I really want to play, but I'm thinking of a trap beat and setting my tempo to 140. So I set the tempo to 140 over here. The tempo, that's my timing. So I like to use this in FL Studio. Hi-hat, not the tick. So this is my timing, and you set your timing and everything right. So you look for your drums. Sometimes some people really like to start with the drums. Some also like to start with the melody and the chord progression. When it comes to music, every musician, every singer sings based on what the chord progression, how your chords are really progressing. That's how every singer or musician use when it comes to beat making. And then it's not like rap that you can just play only melody plus, let's say, bass and you move on, but you can start with your chord or your melody or bass line or your drums. It depends on how you feel. So this time around, I think I just want to start with my drums first, then I come to the melody. So I like this kick. And please, for your beat to sound very well and nice, your sound selection matters a lot. Other than that, after playing and mixing and mastering, you think it sounds better. When the vocals comes inside, there will not be space and everything. You see that you've done what you can at the end of the day, but still not sounding the way you really want it. So your sound selection matters a lot. So it's all about the ear training. There's no way you can say this is a good sound, or just about your ear training. You listen to good and professional music always, and whenever you are selecting, you just try to reference it to see how your own also sound. With time, you are going to get there. We all started like that, and although I won't say I'm there yet, but probably I can do something that somebody will listen and say, yeah. All right, so So I have my kick inside. Let me use a snare. So I have my snare inside. Let me bring a hi-hat. A hi-hat. Just do something simple like so just come inside it and edit it. So we have a shortcut. I just want to chop it. So alternate U on Windows. I don't know about the Mac. So the same thing over here. Alt U. Yeah. I'm just trying to make some to feel like a human in a human way, not like a robotic form that everything just goes straight like that. Let me save it. Alright, so at this point I think let me just highlight everything, then decrease some of the velocities. The reason why I'm doing this is because whenever a drummer is playing a drum, there's no way he can hit them at the same kind of the velocity, the strength of it. Some will be hit harder, some will be hit softly, but still it makes the thing nice and we move on. So it just makes some changes today for you to feel really alright. So let me get some snap. Okay, so the kick. we are done with the drums. So all we are left with is with let me add melody to it. So let's move to another drum pattern. So at this point, please, and I'm playing it on the key F. Key F. Okay, so let's record that into it. Alright, so we record that one, and that's what we get. You quantize, select Control A, then Control K. At the back. So let me add my bass. Sometimes it's better you use 808 and then, but this time I'm not going to use 808. I'm just going to use another bass guitar. So I don't know, I listen to the beat, and the bass also goes with the kick, as you know in music. So I'm just trying to see what fits well for me. So let me record that one too into it, and that's what we get. So even at this point, a rapper can just write a verse for it, and we can still record it as a music. But the singer is supposed to get some chords to get that kind of line. At the end of the day, the singer too can sing, because the progression of the bass too can still help the singer to still write and do everything. So let me just throw in some chord to see. You know, it's about the sound selection. I don't want any hard. start searching in it. At the end of the day, after mixing and mastering, you see that there are some kind of what do you call it, sound selection that you need to be changing. You can still change it. There's no one way of just everything selecting from the start supposed to end. You get it? So you're supposed to know what I'm talking about. So the chord goes this way. So let's go. So you with this beat, we can still make it as a music and a whole lot. So let's get into mixing and mastering to see where we are heading towards to. So we just have to select everything over here like this. You just double click on this, then select everything. You move to your mixing console, then you just right click over here to this, so everything can come onto the mix. Then you just turn this photo limiter off so that we get the right sound. Right now dB is playing around -0, and you see, so you're supposed to mix so that it will be around -6. It will be around -6. Then from there we think that sounds are all right, or we're supposed to add some certain rules and other stuff, then we do that. But other than that, let's try and make sure it's around that part. So sometimes I make sure my kick is around -9 dB or it's around -12 dB. It depends on how hard I want the kick to hit. If I'm making reference to any other what do we call it, song. So this time we are not making reference, so I would like to hit around this time and see how you see. So let's say around -9. And bring this thing down between. I don't really want the hi-hat to be in very well, so I just bring it down a bit, then my snap. Don't be thinking about only the meters over there. You're using your ears, because I'm using my ears to check also, not only the meters. Bass around -12. Let me see, then add the melody. It's really loud, so you just have to lower it. Let me start by mixing the melody. Where is the chord? what I'm using over here, I'm using what do we call it? Stock plugins, but sometimes I will bring in some additional third-party plugins to support. All right, so at this point, all right, so you just have to take your time and EQ to the fullest. I'm cutting the low ends because you see, when the beat is ever playing, we have a bass in there, so we just want to leave that side for the kick and the bass that we are playing over there. And aside that too, I must make sure that there is some room that the bass side are not making the sound to be really muddy. So if you are leaving all those things over there, then probably you are going to get, and you shouldn't be boosting the highs a lot, otherwise you'll be getting a 10. Your beat will never be thick, like strong enough. See that it's very, even if you master, you're not going to get the energy that's supposed to make you feel like this is the beat. You get it? And we are mixing in not studio monitors, so you're supposed to be professional and listen to it well. It's all about your ears, not about your music what do we call it, monitors or anything. That one helps you to get the clarity of the sound, and by the end of the day, if you're not having, what do you have to do? You just have to train your ears to your speakers to get those kind of professional and top sound. You get it? All right, so let's continue to it. So I'm using my ears to understand all these sessions. I don't want the highs. I don't want the highs, and I'm going to put, what do we call it, reverb on it. I sometimes use this reverb because it's simple for me. I just want to feel, you see, the space supposed to come into it, so I added the reverb, but I just want to add, what do we call it, cross beat, to get some dynamics in the beat. Well, cross beat. So I'm trying to EQ the low ends and make sure, like, the way I want to hear it, I hear it that way. It's not about any way. The way I want to hear it is what I'm trying to get it. You get it? And then you see, after adding the EQ, there has been a release of volume to be part of the snare, so you just have to still check that and lower it. It's all about mixing very low, and so you open your volume at your speaker or your interface, audio interface very high, then you make sure you mix at a very low, so that when you get a room for mastering, you get it around -6 dB, so it's okay for mastering, so you get that one. So I want to fill some space around the hi-hat, so I will add a reverb to it, and see, but not too much of it. So let me say around -60. Then I lower it a bit over here. Then let's bring in our snare snap. Now I'll put a stereo enhancer on it. I want it to be like wide, something like that. So I'm looking for stereo enhancer. Where? Okay, stereo enhancer. Like this, we are merging it. You get it to be singing. By this, you're opening it. Around 60%. Okay, so at this point, I would just want the kick to hit harder. You know, when it comes to kick, that makes the song very interesting, and we love how hard the kick hits. If your kick is not really hitting well, or it's not great as it is, your beat sound some way, understand? So sometimes we boost some of the frequencies there, then we make sure like it's hitting well. So you know, in small speakers like earphones and phones and mobile phones and the rest, the small devices, you sometimes hear it around this part. You get it? So I would like to boost around the 200 Hz. It's all about using your ears. Then for the big speakers, I like to boost this side. So don't worry, you just have to still lower it, but I would like to compress it first to see. And I'm using a third-party plugin compressor, which is called R compressor, straight from Waves. If you've downloaded Waves, you can still get it. You can still get your R compressor, but you can use any compressor to achieve all this. It's all about using your ears to understand this. So I'm trying to compress it so that the kick will not, like, I want it to just hit like this. I don't want it to be surrounding everything, you get it? So now I'll just compress it. Not too much compressing. Remember that. at this point, when you look together with everything except the bass, it's still hitting around -6, right? Or -5. So we try our possible best to still mix. So let's lower the kick a bit. And you are working with the kick and everything over here, so I'll just, so when you put your meter at the master, you see that it's still around that place. So let us add the bass to see where we get to, and make sure we shake the bass, and we make sure we shape the bass close to what do we call it, what do we call the bass, the kick, yes. So at this point, let's lower the bass a bit. So I will just, at this level, I think it's really sounding well with our gain staging and a little bit of EQs, reverbs, and compressors. So I'll make sure I just do side chaining to this side chain. I side chain the kick to the 808, not the 808, the bass, if I may say that, the bass. Then we make sure everything is really tight. So together, this is how we side chain on FL Studio. So you just put it on your kick, then you right click at where your bass is under here, then side chain to this track. Alright, and then you move there, you put a fruity limiter on it, or any, I always use this fruity limiter. Then I come to compressor, I right click this side chain, you see that the kick, the name of the kick is already there. So I just do that to it. Then I come to the threshold, the knee, and the ratio. Sometimes I mess with the attack a little bit for clarity. Around -6 dB, and the beat is also sounding really well. But at this point, I can still add another melody or chord to support it, in case I just want to, or rolling and or anything, like any effect sound or anything to it. So at this point, when you listen to the beat is really sounding well, right? Please and listen, nobody on this earth can ever make you to become better on your own self at music production or mixing and mastering. It depends on you yourself to practice a lot to understand it on your own. The procedures have been shown to you using EQs to cut the frequencies and remove unwanted frequencies and boost really wanted frequencies. Like you want spaces between them, your side panning and what we call it, reverbing and delays. You know all those steps and sequences, how we do it. But it depends on you how you want to feel the beat, how you want it to sound. It depends on you to practice more with your plugins and everything to understand it. Other than that, you'll still be paying money to a whole lot of people and you still wouldn't get what you really want. It's all about practicing a lot. Even a month, a year or anything, still do it and you still get there, because I've been doing it for years and still I'm trying to get there. Okay, so at this point, let me try and add another melody to it from Purity and see. I'll just copy this, then add it to this and see. But I just have to reduce the volume. Control L. I'll just take this thing off. I don't want the breakages in it, so I'm trying to compress it a bit to get a tight one, not like it shouldn't be spreading around. Okay, so the beat is really mixed to a point which I feel is right for me. So let's try and arrange it. So I'll start with this. Oh, cut. No, cut this. Then move to another pattern. Alright, so let me add FX to it. So just trying to make it. So I just lower it. Alright, so let's listen to the whole beat, then we master it. Alright, so this is how I do master my beats. I select where everything is really occurring. Where. Alright, so let's say at this point everything is really occurring. So what I do is I put an EQ on it, then I cut some of the low ends. Let's solo it to see. You can really hear that nothing is really happening there. Something is happening here. So I really cut around up to 20 or 25 more times. So let me cut it around 25. Then I do some reduction inside it. Too much of it is going to just kill your beat. Around minus 3 dB. You just have to use your EQ to find the sweetest spot of your own choice. Select the frequencies where you think it's not really working well. So after here, then I add a compressor. Add a compressor, and sometimes I use a preset. Use one of these. Okay, so at this point, what I do is I add a saturation. That is a saturation that I always use. Box 1. And let's say 4. So after this point, we add I'm really moving a little bit faster because of I don't want your time to be wasted a whole lot. So when it comes to mixing, it's all about your understanding and the audio and how you want it to be treated. Alright, so at this point what I do is I add this L3 multi maximizer, then solo this part to here. And I make it the most priority around 1.5 8 or 9. Then the kick side 1.2. Alright, then type press A2 aggressive. So then I add the last thing, which is the L3. Then I just choose this preset, high RSCD. So you just have to lower your thing so that you don't blow it. Okay, so this is what I do. Now let's listen to entire beats to hear if there are changes that we're supposed to make, then we do that. So listening to it, I saw that this was too loud. That's the reason why I did lower it a bit for you guys. Alright, please. Alright, so the beat has been mixed and it has been mastered and everything. So at this point, it's left with you yourself. How you export it to matters a lot. Sometimes I do export it in waveform, or I export it in what do we call it, MP3. Sometimes if I'm going to export it in waveform, then it depends that I'm supposed to add vocals to it, so I will not even master it at all. Then I will just send it whether with the kind of DAW that I'm using. Sometimes I use Cubase or FL to record, so I will not even master it. I will just mix it then, so that I can have space and know if I'm recording right. You know, when it comes to mixing vocals too, it depends on the beginning, how you just have to sync to the beat. You get it? Other than that, you're not going to get what you really want. So at this point, let's just export the beat and see how it plays. So if it sounds right, or there are some changes that we need to do, or anything that we need to add. Alright, so please, this is not everything. You can comment at the comment section to tell me what you really want me to add at the end of the day to anything, or anything that you really want me to do in home studio production. But at this point, so let's listen to it once and for all before we export it to see the outcome. I feel like adding a reverb to this part. The strengths, some reverb. So let's listen to that one in solo. So you see the difference now. Let's take the reverb out of it and do it, bypass it, and see how it sounds. We don't want it to be happening at the low side, so around 200. Let's see. So it has been pushed backwards. You get it? It has been pushed backwards. Strings have been pushed backwards because of the reverb. Then let's add the following stats to it. I feel like adding a reverb to it, and let's see how it feels. Mixing. And this. Everything. Let's listen to everything together. So at this point, I feel like it sounds really well. When a vocal is being added to it, there are going to be a space for the vocals to come inside, and it's going to be in front of the beat, and you're going to feel it right. So let's export it. I'm going to export it MP3. This is just 1 minute 53 seconds. So let's see, I'm going to export it mp3, putting at music. Yeah, I spelled it. Yeah, I just save it here. So let's wait and finish, then we play it over there to see how well it plays as mp3. All right, so without wasting much time, as we are waiting for it to finish exporting, there is one thing that I really want to say. Never give up in music production and never think that you will never get there or something like that. Always believe in yourself, because when I started, I never thought I could even understand what chords or chord progression. Reading music theory was a very something that was stressful to me, but I found a way to do it, and trust me, it has really helped me in my upcoming. I like rapping and I like singing. I like music in a whole, but production was some way. If you don't have money and you really want to make it your own way, then trust me, you don't have to give up. You get it? In life, whenever any opportunity comes your way, my guy, you just have to grab it your way. So I've grabbed it, and when I started, I had nothing. I'm not having studio monitors, but still, here's what I've really come up with. So please and please again, if you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to support your boy. Anything you really want, you just ask, and I will give what I think is best for you, right? So there's no studio monitors, it's no studio speakers, and I'm not using any kind of those kind of keyboard or MIDI keyboard and rap, but I'm just trying my best to get it. Then it's all about understanding your sound, so that when it's time for you to get into a bigger studio or the right studio, you understand everything. Other than that, if you rush to get all the equipment and you don't understand it, you still produce garbage, right? So I will not rush into things, and I will not say anything to waste your time. What I'm going to say is I will end here, then I'll play the beat till the end so that we all listen together, then we just get out of here without wasting much time. So let's get into it. So it has finished exporting. You just have to understand your compressing, your EQing, and what do we call it? Okay.